Good Thursday evening and welcome inside Halton Arena. It's Conference USA basketball as the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers take on the Charlotte 49ers. Bobby Rosinski alongside Joby Thomas. Joby about the midway point of the conference slate, and for both these teams, obviously every game critical. For the Hilltoppers, they've dropped 5 straight, but 2 of those by 3 points or less, all within single digits. This feels like a dangerous team coming into Charlotte tonight.
Yeah, it really does. They've played well, just haven't been able to secure the victory. Obviously difficult to win any conference game on the road, but they come in hungry to do that. Charlotte, on the other hand, has been excellent at home throughout the season, 8-1 on the year with a chance to extend that.
For Western Kentucky, coming in off a loss to Middle Tennessee, 93-85 at home. They lost to UAB prior to that by 3. Losses down in Florida against FAU, FIU, and also dropped the game against North Texas. Niners, meanwhile, come in with a split of Old Dominion. They won here at home last Wednesday before falling in Norfolk. There you look at the starting 5. And the big center that we will see for Western Kentucky, Jamarion Sharp, the 7'5" junior. Joe, did you ever go up anything like that?
I did not. I did play overseas with the tallest living Italian, and he was 7'6", believe it or not. So I have been on the same team with someone pretty much that tall, but it's pretty intimidating to be opposite that young man there, and a lot of block shots probably in the future, and he has proven that game in and game out.
There's head coach Ron Sanchez of the Charlotte 49ers. 4th season leading this team, 44-58 overall. Joby mentioned the Niners 8-1 at home. You go back 2 years ago, pre-pandemic, the Niners were great at Halton Arena at 13-2. We're ready for basketball. This will surprise you, the opening tip goes to the Hilltoppers, and we're underway in Halton Arena. McKnight with the basketball. Out of Frampton. He'll fire the 3 from deep, and it's good. Luke Frampton. Davidson transfer. Been shooting the ball well outside the first couple games of the season, and he's got the Hilltoppers up and running.
And no hesitation there. Dangerous offensive team, and a great sign for the Hilltoppers right out of the starting gates.
Clyde Trapp, not sure if that was deflected by Sharp, but a turnover for the Niners. McKnight quickly inside to Hamilton, and he'll finish.
And the Hilltoppers clearly an advantage on the interior, not just Sharp with his length, but you've got Hamilton and others on the interior. Be interesting to see if that's where they look to pound the ball inside.
Foul called on Justice. That was a block for Sharp. Comes in averaging close to 5 a game on the previous trip down the court. Sharp had a triple-double this season, where one of the stats was 10 blocks. And the Niners turn the ball over on the inbounds. Clyde Trapp, is he talking to Sanchez, saying, hey, I was getting held. No call in a minute in. Western Kentucky loving this start.
And look to see them go right back on the interior. Maybe get Hamilton on that same action as before on the low block.
Justice fires the 3. That won't go. Rebound Khalifa. And here come the 49ers. Clyde Trapp drawing contact, but it's going to be an offensive foul against Trapp.
Yeah, the crowd didn't like the call, but there you see Frampton slides in at the last minute. Bang, bang play. Could have gone either way. But the call in favor of the Hilltoppers.
So Charlotte, 3 trips down the court, 2 turnovers, and a shot that was blocked. Justice going inside, right hand with the finish. And an early touchdown lead for Western Kentucky.
And Justice has the ability to score the ball, coming in, averaging 13 a game, and being aggressive.
Khalifa, reigning Conference USA Freshman of the Week, got the ball back. Niners moving it around. Butler's three, that's blocked. Give Hamilton the credit for the rejection. McKnight back to Hamilton, driving on Threadgill. And this will be an offensive foul. Darius Hamilton, 6'8" senior from here in Charlotte. Went to Cannon High School. Started his career at BC, Maryland last year where he played 31 games.
Yeah, fortunate break there for Charlotte because Hamilton had a clear advantage against Threadgill on the interior. Just hooked him, making that move.
There's a nice cut to Jahmir Young, and the Niners have their first bucket of the game.
Yeah, great backdoor cut. If you've watched Charlotte play at all this season, that motion offense, a lot of action, a lot of movement, and they often get baskets on these backdoor cuts.
Three from Hamilton, it's nothing but net.
Yeah, you always wonder in a homecoming situation, Hamilton being from Charlotte, I'm sure a lot of family and friends here. Looks like he came ready to play.
Jahmir Young will fire the three, just as the rebound. Hamilton thought about it. Now spin move on Butler, and what a finish from Hamilton.
And no answer by Charlotte for Jarius Hamilton.
This is a Western Kentucky team looking for a win in a big way. Off to a great start. Khalifa's three doesn't go. Rebound to McKnight. Hamilton 7 points here in the first 3.5 minutes. Frampton inside right hand. Good defense by Charlotte. Young feeds it in the corner. Threadgill open three. And Sharp just grabbing the ball out of midair. Bring it back for Western Kentucky. Hamilton can't get the finish. Butler has it for the Niners. Like Charlotte had Jahmir on the back cut. Pass didn't come, and now the pass from Trapp was tipped out of bounds. It will stay with the Niners, but Western Kentucky off and running here in Charlotte. Thanks to Hamilton, 7 points. They lead by 10. Back here in Charlotte, the early block by Sharp helping spark this Western Kentucky 12-2 start. And Joby, we look at the Charlotte 49ers, 1 of 6 from the floor, 0 of 4 from beyond the arc. We know in the paint's an advantage for Western Kentucky. Niners going to have to find a way to make those shots from the outside.
Yeah, critical that they connect on some of these outside jumpers. They've had a couple really good looks, but not going their way early on, and a great start for Coach Stansberry's Hilltopper club. Struggling and looking to get back in the win column coming on the road, and you really couldn't ask for a much better start than what they've shown.
Each team going with a substitution for the first time. Josh Anderson checking into the game for Western Kentucky. Player named preseason All-Conference USA. Musa Jallow, first action for the Niners. Khalifa working on Sharp. Fadeaway shot in and out for Khalifa. Out of bounds, and it's Western Kentucky ball.
Well, not a bad shot there by Khalifa, and contrary to what people often think, when you play against a great shot blocker, you actually want to go at him, but you want to go into his body more times than not, make it difficult to block. He elected for the fadeaway. Good-looking attempt, but unable to convert. Khalifa now going to take a breather. And now the size advantage with Sharp and Vasic is quite substantial underneath.
Niners get a steal by Jahmir Young, but then it was poked away. McKnight, alley-oop. So it looked like a nice defensive play from Jahmir Young. turned right back over. 3 turnovers by Charlotte here in the first 5+ minutes. Threadgill over to Vasic. Got Sharp in the air. Now Jahmir Young, long 2, and it's good.
Yeah, better possession for Charlotte offensively, good ball movement. And Jahmir Young, who carries the load offensively, able to connect. He's going to need a lot of help.
McKnight got Jallow in the air and finishes with the left hand.
Yeah, a little sweet up and under McKnight. Lead and score, very dangerous. But he's not just a scorer. One of the best assist men in the country. Over 6 a game as Threadgill gets a great backdoor cut again and an easy finish.
You look at McKnight and what he provides for this team. 15 points a game, 6 rebounds. He ranks 5th nationally in total assists. Had a triple-double this season along with Sharp. Here's Justice looking for help. Jahmir Young knocking it out of bounds, staying with the Hilltoppers.
Get a good look there at the little up and under. McKnight, an easy deuce.
Western Kentucky shooting 7 of 10 the start of this game. 49ers at just 33%, 3 of 9. Officials telling Coach Stanberry to slide back a little bit. McKnight to inbound here for the Hilltoppers. Gets it into Hamilton. 5 to shoot, McKnight going in, Jahmir Young with them, a foul on Young. And McKnight will head to the line for the first 3 throws of the game. McKnight on the season, 77.3%. 6'1" sophomore. He gets the first one to go. Really is taking his game to another level this season.
Yeah, such a strong player as well. Can shoot the ball from the perimeter. We talked about his passing, but able to get to the basket. And a tough cover for Jahmir Young to have to score for Charlotte and carry the load offensively and defend on the other end, a guy like McKnight.
Austin Butler going in on Anderson. And that shot goes in and out. Second time we've seen a ball do that for the Niners. Anderson working on Butler. Hamilton 3. Won't go. 2 Niners fighting over the rebound, and it's then taken away by McKnight. Open 3, Anderson. It's good. And Ron Sanchez will take a timeout as his team in a 15-point hole, and we're not even 8 minutes into this game. Coach Stansberry has to feel pretty good right now. His 20th season coaching, 6 here at Western Kentucky. And Anderson, Joby, just wide open for that 3.
Yeah, wide open, a little miscommunication by Charlotte after a second chance opportunity when they were unable to secure the rebound, and one of those 50-50 ball hustle plays that drive coaches crazy. Really the difference between winning and losing. And right now, this Western Kentucky ball club came to play. Charlotte on the other end really needs to try to get settled in and turn this thing around before it gets away from. A lot of basketball to play, obviously, but never good with a team this hungry coming in with a losing streak, having this great of a start against you.
Charlotte went off to a really cold start, and there's another turnover right on the inbounds. Anderson took it away. A foul.
Unfortunate it wasn't a goaltend.
I was actually waiting for that call.
Yeah, right out of the timeout. Compounding effect, frustration for the Charlotte 49ers. Just not quite able to get it together, but credit this hustle and the tenacity of Western Kentucky.
Anderson, 81.1% at the line, and just hustle here has given them 4 points all of a sudden. Charlotte had a rebound off a missed shot with 2 players fighting over it, and it was just taken away by McKnight. Anderson eventually hits the 3, and then Anderson steals the inbound. 1 out of 2 at the line.
And now Western Kentucky extending pressure. A little bit of a 1-3-1, kind of a matchup zone defense here.
So Jallo had the dunk, and he just was too far on the hoop, and the ball shoots away.
Well, it's been that kind of beginning for Charlotte. Jallo with an easy dunk opportunity off the back rim. Charlotte fortunate to maintain possession. Coach Stanberry instructs his defense.
Niners get the inbounds in. That has not been easy. Jameer Young, mid-range 2 is good. Jameer with 6 points. Frampton. Over to Anderson, back to Frampton. Long 3. It's good.
Oh my goodness, Luke Frampton. That's 2 from the top of the key from deep. 4th made 3-pointer here in the early going for the Hilltoppers.
Jameer Young tried to feed it to Khalifa. They couldn't connect. Western Kentucky now with a 17-point lead, thanks in part to a couple threes from Frampton. Not even halfway through this first half, all Western Kentucky. Look at a Charlotte team. We'll see what response we get. The Hilltoppers jumped on top 7-0 and haven't looked back here over the first 8 minutes and 37 seconds. Jameer Young, the only one to really get going for the Niners. Young with 6 points. 3 of 4 from the floor. And Joby, when you have more turnovers than made field goals, not a recipe for success.
Absolutely not. Charlotte really struggling offensively. And conversely, on the other side, the Hilltoppers shooting almost 70% from the floor, including 4 of 6 from behind the arc. And it's got to start for the 49ers on the defensive end. You got to get stops and force things to be more difficult for the Hilltoppers to try to climb back in this ball game.
Anderson spin move on Butler. Shot doesn't go, and the Niners collect the rebound with Jackson Threadgill. Jameer Young looking for help, finds it in Threadgill. Khalifa working on Sharp. Draws him up in the air, blocked away.
Wow, that was impressive. What a move by Khalifa. Create the separation, and Sharp still able to recover and block that shot. My goodness.
Second block for Sharp. Justice goes behind his back. Anderson able to get it. Now he works on Butler. Pull-up jumper good from Josh Anderson. He's up to 6 points.
And they are pouring it on offensively. One-on-one, 3-pointers in the post. Whatever you want, the Hilltoppers are giving you offensively at the moment.
Khalifa goes hook shot, doesn't go. Khalifa 0 for 4 from the floor, trying to work on the 7-5 to Marion Sharp. Justice, three. We'll get a foul on Frampton, trying to knock it away from Threadgill. Just the third team foul on Western Kentucky. Each team 3 fouls midway through this first 20 minutes.
There you see the beautiful move by Khalifa, but Sharp able to recover. Such long arms. You really have to go into his body and make sure you either force the contact where he can't get up and block the shot, or you got to create separation, but much easier said than done.
Young tried to throw it inside. It was deflected by McKnight. Stays with Charlotte as Butler backing in Frampton, and he'll get the finish.
A smart play there by Austin Butler. Little big boy ball going into the low post. Charlotte not accustomed to really playing from behind their style of play. They get a turnover here, got an offensive foul. But they often don't take quick shots. They're really methodical offensively, which bodes well in a close game, but makes it hard to climb back in when you're down 17.
Foul was on Sharp. First foul on Sharp. He does head to the bench. Hamilton checking back in. Hamilton with 7 points. 4 starters currently on the floor for the Hilltoppers. Here's Jahmir Young. Braswell, he'll fire the 3. It's good. Robert Braswell with a much-needed 3 for the Niners.
Yeah, great penetration there and kick. Braswell able to connect. A welcome sight for this home crowd.
McKnight drives in, ball doesn't fall. Here comes Jahmir Young. Young. And Young down, and this is not a scene the Niners want to see, but luckily Jahmir quickly up. Not sure if he just lost his footing or if there was any contact.
Well, that is an encouraging sign, because every time you see him hold his knee after making that move, appears to be okay. A big sigh of relief there.
6th turnover for the Niners, 3 of them by Jahmir. Justice splitting the defense, got the finish and the foul.
Great play early on here by the Hilltoppers. Big lead in Charlotte.
Western Kentucky, we're going to snap a 5-game losing streak and currently looking pretty good. 29-13 as they lead the Charlotte 49ers. Niners look like they survived a huge scare there, Joby, as Jahmir Young went down, kind of rolled, holding his knee at the time. There you see Jahmir. Looks to be all right.
Yeah, scary scene there. Anytime you see that Euro step and the way he landed. But great to see him hop back up and appears to be ready to roll, and Charlotte certainly needs him.
3-point play finished off by Justice, who's got 5 points. Points all spread around here for the Hilltoppers with their 30. Justice almost took it away from Braswell. Another turnover by the Niners, number 7. Ball back in the hands of McKnight. Going on Jahmir. McKnight, what a finish.
And really just too easy. Again, a little bit of bully ball. Move the ball side to side, and then McKnight using his strength as Young comes right back at him on the other end and misses. but no help side defense for Charlotte 49ers.
Jallow the rebound for Charlotte. Jameer Young has 6 points, 3 of 5 shooting. That ball knocked away by McKnight. Hilltoppers shooting 60% currently. 12 of 20 from the floor. 4 of 7 from beyond the arc. Niners 6 of 17. That's at 35%. And just 1 of 5 from the outside.
There you see Charlotte struggling. 6 for 17. Coach Sanchez trying to switch the lineup up, get people in and out as Trapp connects on a wide open 3, much needed. But looking for a spark any way he can find it. Luka Basic seeing some additional early minutes.
Justice will fire the 3, and he answers right back. Eight points now for Justice. That's a team high for the Hilltoppers. And another Charlotte turnover. Clyde Trapp, his 3rd. Turnovers up to 8.
And many of them unforced. Western playing hard defensively, but not doing anything special to cause the turnovers. Charlotte really shooting themselves in the foot. Some of these ill-advised passes. Can't give possessions away. Trying to climb back in the ball game.
Justice inside, another finish at the rim. And a timeout going to be taken by Ron Sanchez, his 2nd one, as he's trying to stop the bleeding here in this first half. And in Charlotte, kind of a similar situation they were in Saturday in Norfolk, as Old Dominion jumped all over them in the first 20 minutes. Second half was more of an even game, but at that point, Charlotte was too far down as they would lose 68-52 to the Monarchs.
You see Coach Sanchez imploring his team. Sometimes you can throw strategy out the window. Hilltoppers just outplaying the 49ers on both ends of the floor, and they are getting to the basket at will. Easy penetrations like we just saw from Justice. And that's often a sign that you need to pick up the intensity and effort if you're Charlotte.
Charlotte with 16 points in this game. Hilltoppers have 16 in the paint. Austin Butler. A nice left-hand finish. Niners have made 4 out of their last 5 shots, but they've yet to figure out an answer defensively. And turnovers keeping them from answering bucket for bucket with the Hilltoppers. Hamilton, he'll turn the ball over. Here comes Jameer Young. Clyde Trapp, back to Butler. Butler backing it on Anderson. Shot doesn't fall, Justice the rebound.
Butler misses, but that's been some of Charlotte's best offense with him penetrating. Gets to the basket again as Hamilton slips the screen. Frampton finds him for an easy dunk. And you can hear a pin drop here in Halton.
Yeah, and you look, weapons across the board here for Western Kentucky. 5 players on the floor, 3 of them have 6 points. You got Hamilton with 9, Justice with 10. Trapp will fire the 3. Doesn't fall. Rebound to Frampton. And a decent crowd here on a Thursday night. But they're definitely growing restless as this game continues. Here's Anderson, open 3. Rebound for Trapp. And he turns it over. Now McKnight. Timeout on the floor. Hilltoppers continue to extend their lead as they lead by 21. Western Kentucky been making it look easy here in this first half. The dunk by Hamilton. He has 9 points, 4 of 6 shooting. Hilltoppers as a team, 15 of 24 from the floor. That's 62.5%. Jameer Young with 6 points, leading the way for the Niners. You look at possessions and points per possession. The Hilltoppers, each team with 29 possessions. You see the score, so the points per possession for Western Kentucky at 1.345. Charlotte at 0.621 here in the first just about 17 minutes of action. Joby, if you're the Niners, what do you think the goal is? What do you want to cut this to going into the locker room?
Yeah, you'd love to try to get it to single digits if possible. It's a tall task, obviously, with just 3 minutes. But at this point, you really just want to get stops and try to do anything you can do to cut into this lead. A lot of basketball yet to play, but not the half they were hoping for here at home. Western, on the other end, you got to be incredibly encouraged if you're Coach Stansbury.
I don't even know if you go to the locker room if you're Western Kentucky. You stay out here.
To run it back, right?
McKnight's shot doesn't finish. Butler the rebound.
Hey, look at
board for Butler.
The percentages there as Young drives and doesn't get the call he's looking for, but really just incredible points in the paint. Huge advantage, 18-10 for the Hilltoppers. And then when they're not scoring in the paint, they're shooting the 3-ball well, 5 for 9. So just an offensive show thus far.
Justice pump fake goes inside. Finish not there. Rebound Butler. It was a great look from Frampton to find Justice in the corner. Niners gone over 3.5 minutes without a point. Vasic had the open look and he waited too long. Ended up being deflected by Sharp for his 3rd block of this first half.
You cannot hesitate around here. Western Kentucky calls a timeout here, going to set something up. There you see just the hesitation by Vasic enough to allow the 7-5 Sharp to extend and hit that shot.
Yeah, Sharp, tallest player in college basketball, was named to the Naismith Men's National Defensive Player of the Year watch list. Leads the nation in blocks coming into this game with 92, so he's up to 95. That's more blocks than 299 Division I teams.
Wow. He's tall.
That's why Joby's paid to be the analyst on these games. And for the Niners, look, they've had their shots, Joby, in the paint. Just some of them just been going in and out. I think you've seen maybe, I don't know, frustration building for Jameer with a couple drives quickly. Talking to the officials, hoping to get calls. Charlotte has not attempted a free throw in this game. The Hilltoppers don't allow much. That's been a Rick Stansbury thing throughout his career, of teams don't get to the free throw line against them.
Yeah, and they've been playing aggressive basketball as well, and kind of probably heard it said, when you have 5 guys on the floor playing aggressive, very difficult for the officials really to pick and choose. When you have 1 or 2 guys playing hard, that's when teams get in foul trouble. This team's competing tonight, all 5 guys playing hard, as Hamilton with another strong drive, and a disappointed Charlotte 49ers fan base here as you hear a spattering of boos.
Fouls on Khalifa. Free throw by Hamilton doesn't go. Hamilton was his first attempt at the line, 63.6% free throw shooter. Mentioned he went to Cannon High School here in Concord, #2 all-time scorer at that school. He'll miss them both. And a turnover by Charlotte, but they'll catch a break as Frampton couldn't corral it. Goes out of bounds, will stay with the Niners.
And Charlotte just unable to get any rhythm going offensively. Credit this Hilltopper defense.
I guess in a quick discussion here whether it was possession for Western Kentucky. And they'll put the shot clock at 21. So it's not possession for the Hilltoppers. Jameer to inbound the ball for the Niners. Finds Austin Butler, top of the key. Butler going inside on Sharp. Didn't get the finish, but does draw the foul. Will be the second foul on Sharp. And the Niners going to have their first free throws of the game.
And a good example of what we talked about earlier. Going at the chest of a shot blocker. Butler, much shorter, but goes right into Sharp's chest, able to draw the foul.
Butler hitting the first. Butler just about a 70% free throw shooter. And that one goes in and out. 20-point lead for Western Kentucky. The largest lead was just 21 before that free throw was made. Hilltoppers actually been in a drought here over 3 minutes without points. And that ends that.
Yeah, the old announcer jinx, I guess, right?
Depends on which side you're on.
That's right.
Anderson now with 8 points. Braswell will fire a three. That doesn't go. Long rebound goes to Anderson. You got a 4-second, maybe 5-second difference. Shot clock to game clock.
Yeah, you can just feel the air sucked out of this building. And if you're Coach Sanchez, forget the score at halftime. I want to see coming out of the locker room guys that are just going to compete. We got to climb back in this game somehow, some way, as McKnight does what he's done all evening. Drive right down Main Street for another layup.
Niners catch a break. There was not a good inbounds pass. It was going to be taken away by the Hilltoppers, but was deflected. I don't even think they actually touched the ball. It probably just goes out directly off Charlotte, but now the Niners will get a crack at it here. They've missed their last 6 shots. Khalifa turns, fires the three. And that brings us to the end of the first 20 minutes here in Charlotte. A dominating first 20 minutes for the Hilltoppers, finished off by this bucket from McKnight. Getting set for the second half in Halton Arena. As you see the Niners coming out of their locker room. Can't imagine it was a pleasant locker room to be in during the 15-minute halftime. Hilltoppers out on the court as well. Taking a look here at Conference USA. Near that midway point. Charlotte right there. In the East, the Hilltoppers down near the bottom, but with a win tonight, you got to think could spark this team moving forward. The West Side, North Texas, off to a really good start at 8-1. UAB, La Tech 7-2. We look at games right now in progress. Southern Miss, they lead FIU at halftime, 33-30. FAU on top of Louisiana Tech, 44-30. Still to come, a couple other games tonight. They'll be tipping off here top of the hour. UTSA against Rice and Marshall against Old Dominion. And that will be the opponents for these two teams. Coming up next as Western Kentucky will head up to Norfolk and take on Old Dominion. That is a 7 p.m. tip that you can see right here on ESPN Plus for the Charlotte 49ers. Meanwhile, they'll welcome Marshall here to Halton Arena. Niners also have a makeup game on Monday. See, February 7th, that game on the road down at FIU. So they'll play Marshall on Saturday here at Holton, fly out on Sunday down to Miami, and then back for a home game next Thursday against Louisiana Tech before that middle game on the road. One of 3 road games. That is Super Bowl Sunday for the Niners in Murfreesboro as they take on Middle Tennessee at 3 o'clock. So you look at this, Joby, this has been a Niner team really good at home, 8-1 at Holton Arena this season, and this is that stretch right now, 3 out of 4 at home. We're also looking at a stretch of 4 on the 5 on the road. This is a game that looks like it's not going to go their way, but the next 20 minutes could tell you a lot for what happens Saturday when Marshall comes to town.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, in the next 5 games in 12 days, too, if you look at that schedule for Charlotte. So on the bright side, you have less practice and you really want to get out there when you have a performance like they did in the first half and correct those things on the floor in game situations. But still a lot of basketball to play, and as we mentioned going into the half, Coach Sanchez, I'm sure, just wants to see a team that competes irregardless of the score, doing what they can to climb back in this game a little at a time.
If you're Coach Stansberry, I'm sure you've been in locker rooms, Joby, with the first half that really nothing could go wrong. What is that message? Or just, hey, guys, keep doing what you're doing?
Yeah, more of the same, really. The first 5 minutes is usually what they're preaching. We've got to really get off. If we get off to a good start for Western the first 5 minutes, the chances of Charlotte coming back slim to none. But if we allow them to have any kind of life early in the second half, it could be a very different basketball game.
A Charlotte team when trailing for Ron Sanchez's team at halftime, just 1-7. Coach Stansberry's team, when they lead at the half, 7-2 so far this season. Joby said, we'll see what we get the first 5 minutes. I think the crowd probably thinking the same thing of what we see to start the first 5 minutes here. Khalifa with the ball. Now to Threadgill. Back in the hands of Threadgill. Wants to get it to Young. He does. Ball corralled by Sharp. And it's going to stay with the Niners. It looked like a foul by Cleveland, but I thought there was a foul before on Sharp, so I don't know if the official just let it play out.
Yeah, I thought the official was holding his arm up like he was calling a foul against Khalifa, pushing Sharp out of bounds, but much ado over nothing, and now discussion over the shot clock, it would appear. It's like 20 is what Charlotte will have.
Trap. Runner in the lane. That one might have been tipped by Sharp. Shot clock did reset. Here's Butler. Doesn't go. And out of bounds, and he'll stay with the Niners. So they've had the ball here the first 41 seconds. That block by Sharp is 4th of the game. Nice cut to Young and a finish.
And Charlotte starts the second half like they started the game with a backdoor bucket by Jahmir Young.
Wasn't easy. It took 50 seconds. The Niners do get that bucket. Young up to 8 points. Hamilton turnaround shot. Was tipped out by Sharp, but got in the hands of Threadgill. Khalifa. Now Butler. Got Hamilton in the air. Butler. And one. Butler, if he hit his head on the ground or was hit as he went across.
Yeah, looks like there may be some blood.
It's the 3rd foul on Sharp.
And that's the 2nd time at least you've seen Butler go right at Sharp, and tough to tell from that angle if he hit his head. But certainly a nifty finish there by Austin Butler.
I didn't think I saw the head hit when he went down. So it must have either been with Sharp or the other Hilltopper players. See Butler get intended to. Butler's supposed to be at the line for one. Niners off to a 4-0 start in the second half.
Yeah, one of those rare moments when you're a Niner player saying, sign me up for the free throw that I didn't earn. Coach Sanchez will probably get the pick. Sure, Jameer Young will get the honor if that's the case.
Butler, I'm sure, hating to miss it when you
oh,
bleeding and you can't get the
draw the and one opportunity and you don't even get to capitalize.
Well, if Young makes it, they need to just give it to Butler.
That's right. If you miss, that's his, though.
Yes.
Right?
I've always thought fantasy football, you know, when your quarterback's pass interference, give me those yards. Young able to make the free throw. Jameer up to 9 points. That's his first free throw attempt of the game. Niners only taken 3 at the stripe. So 5-0 run. Get things going. Sharp still out there with his 3 fouls. Justice going inside. Doesn't get it. Rebound Khalifa. Jameer pushing it. Off the Threadgill. Off the glass. Doesn't go. Loose ball. It'll be a jump ball, possession arrow to the Hilltoppers. And now we got McKnight shaken up for Western Kentucky. Collecting himself. Davion McKnight in the game with 8 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Only player in the country averaging at least 15 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and a steal a game. All around talent from McKnight. Justice fired the 3, it won't count.
I saw the official wave it off, looked like. It sounded like the whistle blew before Justice attempted that shot. Looks like they may go to the monitor. Coach Stansberry would certainly beg to differ.
Yeah, I thought you were right with the whistle being blown before.
There you see the foul clearly before Justice rises up to take the shot. Can't hear the whistle there, but
be
pretty
surprised.
much coincided with the fall to the floor. Yeah.
Justice 10 points, 4 of 8 shooting, 1 of 3. And the call standing. Foul on Jameer Young, his second. Justice being guarded tightly by Young. He's got to fire, he will. Rebound to the Niners. Niner defense really with about 5 minutes to go in the first half. About 8 minutes of game time. We've seen the Hilltoppers score only 4 points. Niners trying to capitalize here early in this second half.
Yeah, done a good job defensively, but you mentioned trying to capitalize here. They really got to get something to go as Jallow does just that. Wide open, Musa Jallow knocking down the trifecta.
8-0 run starting the second half for the Niners. Here's Sharp inside, a charge. And that'll be Sharp's fourth. Tremendous job, Threadgill. And Halton Arena for the first time since really the start of this game coming alive. Sharp will head to the bench with his fourth foul. Josh Anderson checking back into the game.
Well, the momentum certainly has swung in the favor of Charlotte 49ers. Still a big lead to overcome, but they're cutting into it a little at a time.
5 to shoot. Khalifa lobs it to Threadgill. He's going to have to turn and fire, and that'll be a shot clock violation. Great defense by the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, great response by Western Kentucky. Just what they needed. Charlotte on this 8-0 run.
Anderson wide open. Got it to go. Second three of the game for Josh Anderson. He's up to 11 points in a needed bucket for Western Kentucky, up 19, but first bucket of the half, Jahmir Young answers right back. Charlotte making a little noise here early this second half. Jahmir Young drawing the and one. Young up to 11 points in the game. He's been in double figures every game this season. For the Niner faithful, trying to draw on something earlier this year, Jovi. You can go to the game of Wake Forest. They played here in Uptown Charlotte, the Spectrum Center. Game down 14 at halftime. Came back second half, actually tied at 3 at the buzzer by Wake Forest. Won that game 82-79. Bigger deficit here today, but still at least something you can draw on if you're a Niner fan.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure something that was discussed at halftime as well by Coach Sanchez and the staff. Remind the Niners that they are far from out of this game yet, and still a 16-point lead, but cutting into that deficit ever so slowly. Plenty of basketball yet to play.
Anderson going in on Butler. And one for Anderson. So Anderson a 3, and now a and one. I think Butler talking to the official. I thought he actually got a little shot to the face.
Yeah, good strong move. That's a tough call. I've been on both sides of that as a defender. He's saying, listen, Anderson initiated the contact. I was straight up. And I think he had a point, but three-point play there by Anderson.
Anderson now up to 13 in the game. At a season average of 12.7. Jahmir Young did not get the finish. Anderson, 3, good. They're gonna say foot on the line. It's a 2 for Anderson. And just like that, the lead up to 21 and a steal by Anderson.
My goodness, Josh Anderson came to play. He has been a spark off the bench, to say the least. Coach Sanchez is going to have to talk it over. And just when the Charlotte 49ers were climbing back into this ball game, Josh Anderson changes things in a hurry. Hilltoppers up 23.
Josh Anderson with the thunderous dunk. Anderson, all 10 points for Western Kentucky in the second half. He's 4 for 4 from the floor. Made a three, made a free throw. Oh, and in 2 minutes of playing time.
My goodness.
Sharp getting his 4th foul was the worst thing that ever happened to the Niners. Foul called here on Western Kentucky.
Yeah, certainly deflating for this home crowd. The Niners cut it to 16 and felt like they were picking up the momentum until the wrath of Josh Anderson struck Halton.
Jameer Young, they get it in the corner trap. He'll fire the three. Tipped out of bounds, stays with the Niners. Niners 3 of 12 from the outside. Trap going in with the finish. Frampton, 6 points, had 2 threes early in the game. Off to McKnight, step back jumper. Rebound by Trapp. Now Jameer going in, bounce pass Butler. Niner offense clicking a lot better here in this second half. Had 19 points in the first half, already 15 here in the first 6+ minutes.
Really good ball movement and attacking the rim, which is what you have to do.
3 by Justice is good.
A great play design there. A little misdirection. Justice off the pin down. Nothing but nylon. And every time Charlotte seems to respond, Western Kentucky comes right back and silences the crowd.
Jameer Young. First 3 of the game for Jameer. Niners have made their last 3 shots. Problem is the Hilltoppers have made 5 of their last 6.
That's right, you can't trade baskets. Gotta be able to get stops on one end and buckets on the other if you're Charlotte.
Hilltoppers have never trailed in this game. Jumped on top 7-0. Largest lead has been 24. There's a turnover.
There you see good penetration by Butler. Wide open, Jameer Young.
Robert Braswell checking into the game here for the Niners.
Braswell, a guy that can help give an offensive spark. Good shooter from the perimeter, one of their best three-point shooters.
Braswell, and one.
And that's a great way to come off the bench and be ready to play. Another good backdoor cut and find. You see Khalifa, very gifted passer as a big man. Braswell drawing the contact and the nice finish.
Khalifa, 3 assists in the game, 6 boards, hasn't scored. He'll make an impact other way. Braswell at the line, looking for a 6 point. He got it. Niners, 21 points here in the second half. Was a 24-point lead at halftime. Justice looking for another tray. Rebounding Jameer. Flying up the court comes Young. Oh, Ad Young back in the corner. Didn't see him. Butler, though. The Niner bench on their feet. Crowd again making some noise. Second time we've seen Charlotte cut into the lead and getting this crowd going. 11:54 to go. The lead thanks to Butler's bucket. Fourteen-point game inside Halton Arena. Closest this game has been since 27-13. With 8:30 to go first half, that's gotten the student body here in attendance back on their feet, making some noise. Charlotte outscoring the Hilltoppers 23-13 here in this second half. And Joby, look, points in the paint actually tied now at 24.
And Charlotte's had a lot of success here in the second half, penetrating, getting to the basket, and really that's opened up a couple of opportunities to knock down a few outside threes as well. Shooting over 56% here in the second half. Charlotte showing signs of life. Exactly what Coach Sanchez and his staff had hoped for. As he gets an applause.
Picked up a piece of trash.
Crowd. Everybody doing their part.
McKnight over to Hamilton. Hamilton breaking down Khalifa. Doesn't get the finish, and Butler had it taken away by Anderson. Now Hamilton spins again, this time off to Anderson. Blocked away by Khalifa. Big defensive stop for Charlotte. Jahmir Young up to 15 points. It's back in his hands. Now Braswell, three. Offensive board Niners. Braswell. Khalifa keeping it alive. Two big offensive boards for the Niners. Jahmir. Now Khalifa backing in on Hamilton. Hook shot, good.
Third time's the charm for Charlotte. Two big offensive rebounds and third shot attempt for Khalifa goes down. 12-point ball game.
Niners with 8 offensive rebounds in this game, currently on a 10-0 run. Justice going inside and one. A big finish for the senior. Justice, much needed bucket for the Hilltoppers. Actually graduated a couple years ago, took a sales job, returned as a grad assistant this past summer, and then with injury history, COVID, got an extra year of eligibility, decided he would play. In fact, Joby, he got married on Saturday, November 13th, and then played the next day against South Carolina.
Kudos to him.
Kudos to the wife.
That's right.
Allowing the honeymoon. Not that Asheville's a bad place to go.
That's right. I got married on a Friday night and graduated Saturday morning the next day. How about that? That's kind of similar,
yeah.
Right? I thought that was impressive.
I got married and then went to the beach. 15-point lead here, Western Kentucky. Young in the hands of Butler. Butler driving in. Doesn't get the finish, does draw the foul. And that is the 6th foul on Western Kentucky. It was a shooting foul, so Butler to the line, but every foul the rest of the way. We'll have the Niners at the free throw line.
That's a result of what we discussed earlier, the way Charlotte has attacked the rim here in the second half, getting points in the paint, drawing fouls, being the aggressor, something we did not see in the first half. See Butler. Oh, so close to a three-point play opportunity.
Niners going to give what you believe here will be a very brief rest for Jahmir Young. Niners, top team in Conference USA at the line. Butler misses that one. They're at 71%, just 7 attempts. Frampton, 3, got it! Luke Frampton has made 3 shots. They've all been beyond the arc.
And that was a rainbow right in front of us. Good looking shot by Luke Frampton and a huge basket to help keep the Hilltoppers on top.
Gallo can't get the finish. Rebound to Anderson. Western Kentucky slows it up. Now Justice fires the 3. And 1. And just like that, the lead back to 20.
My goodness. Justice stepping up. Jallo trying to contest. A little overzealous. And a 4-point play opportunity and a back-breaking bucket by Justice.
We saw Austin Butler at the free throw line just a minute ago. Made 1 out of 2 to cut it to 14. Jahmir Young took a brief rest. And just like that, the lead up to 20. It's the dangerous Jovi when first half couldn't get anything going. They played a great second half, Charlotte, but down 24 at the halftime. Makes you have to pretty much play a perfect game.
That's right. A game of runs. Charlotte started out the second half with a nice run. But credit Western Kentucky. They've done their part to make sure Charlotte doesn't get close enough, and they're starting to run out of time.
7-0 run for Western Kentucky. Niners have had an 8-0 run and a 10-0 run this half. That 3 short. Nice job, Justice, to save the ball and give it to Western Kentucky. Frampton. Jahmir going in on Justice. Get a blocking call on Justice. And that will send Jahmir to the free throw line when we come back. 7:58 to go. The Hilltoppers lead by 21. Jahmir Young been having a strong second half, able to draw the foul on Justice. Gets him to the line, but credit to this Hilltopper team. Played a flawless first 20 minutes. They have taken some punches here from Charlotte in the second half, but have answered them all. Coach Sanchez, as Jovi has said, running out of time right now with just 7:58 to go. This is the 35th all-time meeting, by the way, between the two schools. Hilltoppers a 22-12 lead in the series. Been pretty even here in the Queen City. Charlotte 9-8 advantage. So unless we see a miraculous comeback, likely even things up. Young now to 17 points. Justice, he's been, along with Anderson, the two key cogs for Western Kentucky. Justice with 20 points. Anderson with 18. Frampton. Rebound, Clyde Trapp.
And due to foul trouble, we haven't seen much of sharp in the second half for Western Kentucky. And you mentioned it early, Bobby, really, when he went out of the game and Josh Anderson came in and had those 10 consecutive points, it really changed the complexion of the second half.
Anderson had the big run. Then we saw Justice with 7 points. Frampton a big 3. Now Hamilton will fire. Won't go. Possession to the Niners. 49ers have not made a shot the last 4 minutes of this game. Hilltoppers in a drought right now that have gone over 2 minutes. They'll take that right now, knowing time is their friend. Jackson Threadgill, just 2 points, 1 of 3 shooting in this game. Jameer Young finds Butler. Butler going inside. Rebound to Anderson. 7th board of the game for Anderson. He's got 4 steals to go along with it.
And Hilltoppers content here to use as much of the clock as possible. Little isolation there and a beautiful move to clear out the entire side for McKnight. Goes one-on-one and says, my offense is better than your defense. And that's been the case for much of the evening for the Hilltoppers.
Austin Butler, well, he could have shot it maybe right away.
Further and further away from the basket. Very high difficulty. Able to convert.
Butler with 14 points. Good bounce back performance from him. The loss against Old Dominion had just 3 points in that game. McKnight, back-to-back buckets for McKnight. He's up to 12.
Yeah, so smooth, under control, and has the size advantage on Young and went right to the block. As we see Western Kentucky switch up defenses, play a little zone here, and dare Braswell to knock it down, and he says, I'll take that.
Braswell shooting over 42% from 3 coming into this game. And he's right at 40% today, 2 of 5 from beyond the arc. Hilltoppers heading up to Norfolk, take on Old Dominion on Saturday. Niners right back here as they'll battle Marshall. McKnight, 6 in a row for McKnight.
6 beautiful points. 3 drives to the basket. And he is giving the Niners the business as Young misses and got a leak out for Justice. Too many years in college basketball to dunk that one on those knees, but an easy deuce nonetheless.
Timeout taken by Coach Sanchez. Niners have battled here in this second half, but the Hilltoppers have had the answers, and they lead by 22. Long rebound, leading to the fast break bucket for Justice. He now has a game-high 22 points. Josh Anderson, his teammate, with 14. Then you look at Jameer Young of Charlotte with 17. Davion McKnight, Austin Butler, each with 14 in this game. Charlotte has gone to the bench. Starters still out for Western Kentucky. You see Marvin Cannon in the game for the first time. Perry Francois also getting some minutes.
Yeah, Coach Sansbury usually only plays about 7 guys. As you see Braswell miss an open 3. And he is sticking with his horses, just under 4 minutes to play with this game well in hand.
It'll be interesting, Joby, to watch this team moving forward. 5-game losing streak, but you can see the talent out there, and you got to believe this could open the floodgates.
Absolutely. Really just inconsistent, but they have the ability. As Josh Anderson shows he came to play this evening. Fantastic performance by Josh Anderson.
Braswell 3. In and out. Rebound by Anderson. He's knocked out of bounds. Stays with the Niners.
Yeah, Western's one of those teams you don't want to see in conference tournament play, right down the line.
Team picked 3rd preseason in the conference.
They could get hot at the right time and really make some noise.
This team had a big win against Louisville earlier this year. Knocked off Ole Miss. They have tough losses against Minnesota, South Carolina, Memphis.
Yeah, Kentucky as well.
Frampton with the dunk.
They've certainly played in some intimidating environments, and they were not intimidated tonight. Right out of the gate, showed that they were ready to play ball.
Braswell fouled. We'll see one sub here from Western Kentucky. Brashear will check into the game. He had a couple minutes back in the first half. Isaiah Cozart also checking into the game, his first minutes. Justice heading to the bench, 22 points for Justice in 37 minutes of action. Hilltoppers currently with 6 players. That would be illegal.
I was wondering, no one wanted to come off.
Well, I thought Frampton was coming off at first, but he was just talking with Coach. And you'll see Hamilton, again from Charlotte, checks out of the game.
Yeah, Hamilton really a nice performance, and he really started the game off hot. Helped set the tone for this Hilltopper team.
Anderson with 7 to shoot, drive it on Vasic. Bounce pass, ended up bouncing around, taken by Marvin Cannon, up to Braswell. Braswell now with 13 points.
Charlotte back at home on Saturday against Marshall. A chance to try to turn things around and rebound before they hit the road. Important stretch for this team as well.
Niners going to be honoring Lee Rose, coach of the 1977 team that went to the Final Four.
Seems like so long ago in many ways it was, but this program has seen some highs and some lows and trying to do their best to bounce back and put consistent good seasons together.
Well, knocked out of bounds. Another substitution here. And Noah Stansberry checking into the game.
See if they try to get him a shot attempt. Coach's son.
McKnight, his night is over. Impressive performance, including the 6 straight points he had here in the second half. Marvin Cannon's 3 doesn't go. Rebound to Cozart. And the ball in the hands of Stansberry. Well, their subs getting ready to check into the game if we have another whistle. Anderson out there with 20 points. Now Brashear. Brashear, step back 3, blocked by Cannon. out of bounds. There's just one on the shot clock. Tyler Olden checking into the contest, along with Bailey Conrad. Just 1 second to shoot. Cozart fires. Rebound by Cannon. Shot clock is off. Cannon will fire three, top of the key, it's good. And that should be the final points of this contest, as Western Kentucky gonna snap a 5-game losing streak and pick up their 3rd conference win, as they put together a dominating performance tonight in Halton Arena. As the final score in this contest, 78-59, as the 49ers drop to 500 in conference play. For Joby Thomas, I'm Bobby Rosetsky saying so long from Halton Arena, where the final score is Western Kentucky 78, the Charlotte 49ers 59. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of the ESPN.